Okay, so when you start a new project in Revit, like I said, it's going to default you to level 1. All right, some important things to understand is that level 1 is like the ground level. It just defaults, like for example, if you open an elevation view, you can see level 1 is set at 0. Level 2 just is, it just comes in at 10 feet. You can change that if you'd like. So on level 1, you're looking at a plan view of the ground level. It's also very helpful to open up your 3D view and always have that open. You're going to want to have that open as you start drawing stuff anyway. So just keep that tab open. So on level 1, to draw some walls, which is how I encourage you guys to start with your models. Okay, over here in the architecture tab, we're going to select wall. Depending on how far into your you are with your design, you can select different wall types over here. However, I just say just start with the generic wall. You can always go back and change that. And then there's different types of ways you can actually draw walls. Depending on what you're wanting to do, you might want to use a rectangle tool. But if you're wanting to do something unique, you might want to use the line tool to kind of create that shape of whatever you need. I just made this odd pentagon shape, but if yours is more simple than that. You can also use the escape key to get out of the command. So notice when I select wall, I'm in this modify place wall command. Okay, to get out of that, just hit escape a couple times. And now in our 3D view, we've got some beautiful walls, okay, but another thing that Revit does is it comes in and it draws all your walls at like 20 feet high. Unless that's what you want, I would encourage you guys to project these walls or constrain them to your level 2. We want these walls to cut off right here. And so the way I do that is in my 3D view. There's multiple ways you can do it. But in 3D view, you can either go through and select, hold down control and select all your walls. A really streamlined way to select all your walls is to go into like a side view, also known as an elevation view. And you can click and just drag your cursor and it will just select all those walls. The nice thing is that doing this when you only have walls makes it a little easier because then you're not worried about selecting doors and windows and all that junk. Okay. And then over here in your properties tab, you can change the top constraint. Right now it's just unconnected at 20 feet high. You can go in here and type like 10 feet, but I always just constrain it to level 2, and then the walls will automatically go to level 2. This is nice if you constrain it for the following reasons. So for example, if I'm like, oh man, level 2 actually needs to be set at 8 feet. Okay, I can click into that level 2 level and I can adjust that to be 8 feet. And then not only will the level change, but check it out, my walls are also, they just magically became 8 feet tall as well. But the reason it does that is because we've essentially coded these walls to be, the height of them is coded to read based off of this level. It's just a nice way. It avoids or limits basically errors on your end and you getting to the point where one of your walls is like super tall and all the other ones are not, and so things start to get a little bit weird. But anyway, that's how you draw walls on your level 1. You want to make sure you're in that level 1 view. Okay, constrain them to that level 2. So now if we open up our level 2 floor plan, okay, because we constrain those walls to level 2, we can see them in level 2, but we can't mess with them and move them. We have to do that in level 1, which is a big thing because you don't want to be jacking up your walls in the level 2 drawing when those walls are on level 1. So it just helps kind of limit those errors as well.